You know those days where nothing seems to go right? Where you feel like you're just getting kicked in the teeth and dragged through the mud and you start to question things? This is one of those days. And if you have any intention of building something incredibly great for yourself and for the world, you're gonna want to hear this, because as you scale, as you grow, the farther you grow, the more and the bigger problems you get. So for example, just today, the morning was going great. It was off to a wonderful start. And then all of a sudden, shit starts hitting the fan. One of my team members unintentionally gave my Amex details to someone that wasn't Amex. And so I just spent the last half an hour on the phone with them, figuring that out, canceling my card, have to get a new one. And then the client pulled out of a retreat with an emergency just came up too, so now we got a room to fill, and that's literally a week from today. And then a bunch of other stuff too. Oh, and I was making some eggs right here just a minute ago, and I go to crack an egg. Normally I have 4 eggs, and there were 2 of them in there, so I was cracking the third one, and it's like a rotten egg, and it was just like disgusting, and it just ruined all of the other ones, so I had to throw all of them out. And I'm like, what the fuck? But immediately, right then, I told myself, I said, Jeremy, if you want to build something great, if you actually want the goals that you claim that you want so badly, and you want to create the impact and build the thing that you want and have the impact that you want, this is the price of admission. There's not always going to be good days. There's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, right? There's going to be days like today where it seems like nothing goes right. And I think a lot of people get like kicked down and they stay down. But I kind of just looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, Jeremy, it's like, this is the cost, man. This is what you signed up for, right? And so I think a lot of people forget they forget what they actually signed up for, and they expect that they're just going to get the results, and they're just going to make a ton of money, and it's going to be easy and fun. Whereas in reality, it's like, man, it's like no one's forcing you to do this, right? No one's forcing me to have a team. No one's forcing me to sign clients and make money. No one's forcing me to do this at all. It's something that I signed up for, and I have to own the highs and the lows. And so instead of like blaming somebody else for giving information away to somebody that they thought was legit, but it turns out they weren't, I look inwards and I'm like, all right, I gave basically no instruction. I didn't even give like, hey, here's the number on the back of the card to call. And so there was a lot of room for error there. And so I take that as like a huge learning opportunity for me as a leader, because now I'm going to be extremely intentional about the instruction, the clarity of the instructions of anything that I delegate from here on out. And without shit hitting the fan, without things going wrong, you never know that. You don't learn that. And you might think you do, and then you disregard it, you make assumptions, and then something goes wrong. And it's that pain that's what makes the lesson stick, because it has emotion attached to it. And so if you're watching this video, chances are you're trying to build a business. You're trying to build a massive impact driven legacy for yourself, for your family, for your clients, for your future clients, for everybody else, right? And I want to just tell you right now, it's like these days happen all the time, multiple times throughout the day. It seems like there's multiple days in a day where shit goes wrong, right? And like another one, for example, is check my Slack, and my sales team's like, hey, this client that put a deposit down is backing out, so they want a refund of the deposit. I'm like, all right, what else are you gonna throw at me, God? Like, keep them coming. And I think that's the exact mentality you need to have, because if you let yourself get bogged down by stuff like this, the way I see it is these things are just tests. And I've been feeling lately like I'm on the brink of massive growth. We just hit a record month in October, and coming out of that right now, I feel like I'm just like so close to just a disgusting amount of exponential growth very quickly. But that only comes on the other side of massive tests, because at new levels, as you grow and as you level up, there's new devils that you have to face and defeat to get to that next level, right? It's just like a video game. The harder the boss, usually the higher the level, and the greater the reward on the other side, right? So if you, I think honestly it really comes down to the fact that like, if you want to achieve something great, you have to endure a lot of pain to do that. And I look back to like marathons or ultra marathons that I've ran, it's like the fulfillment at the finish line is unmatched, but for like 6 hours leading up to it, it's living hell. And that's the test. And then you receive the reward at the end, the gold medal, the time that you beat and stuff like that, right? And the satisfaction of fulfillment internally that you get from doing something that you said you were going to do and holding your word to yourself. Business is no different, right? If I say I want to make $1 million a month, there's going to be a lot of fucking problems that are going to be thrown at me to test me as a leader, as an entrepreneur, to see if I'm actually ready to run an 8-figure company. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be treacherous. And I understand that like we have to be very conscious with our beliefs and our thoughts and the words that we say, because I don't want to speak that into existence. But part of me is like, good, bring it on, right? Like, what else can you throw at me right now? Test me, try me, right? And when you look at your problems, your challenges in that perspective, you're unstoppable. And I think a lot of people get really bogged down by certain things when things don't go according to plan, and they get kicked down, they stay down. And those are the ones that fail. Those are the ones that don't deserve to be entrepreneurs, right? If that's like, go get a 9-to-5 if that's you. But if you actually want to build an incredible business and achieve a disgusting amount of success for yourself, for everybody else around you, you have to be willing to endure the most. The people that achieve the top 0.01% of things in life are the ones that have endured the most difficult 0.01% of things and tests and challenges. And so we want to, like, naturally we default to running away from that stuff, but we have to run towards it head on. We have to welcome that stuff into our lives, because it's through the hard times that we see and achieve the growth that we need to get to and stay at the next level, right? So one thing I've learned is like, the farther you grow and the harder you scale, like you scale your problems too. And the problems don't get easier, they actually get significantly bigger. You just get better at dealing with them. And that's it. That's really what it comes down to. And how do you do that? It's just like training a muscle in the gym. The more weight you lift, the more reps you do, the bigger the muscle becomes, right? Very simple. So the more challenges you face, and the greater the magnitude and the strength of these challenges that you face and overcome, the stronger you become mentally. You become very fortified and calloused. So when things are thrown at you, shit hits the fan, and you start to question your entire existence, or at least when things that would make most people question their entire existence get thrown at you, you don't waver. You look at it in the eyes with a sick, twisted mind, you say, hey, good, bring it on. What else you got? And when you have that perspective, that's when things change. That's when you see exponential growth in your life, in your business, and everything else. So I wanted to record this video because I'm deep in the moment right now. I'm deep in the heat and the thick of it. And I know you're gonna experience a lot of stuff like this too. There's gonna be a lot of times that you're building, you're grinding, and things aren't gonna go well. Things are gonna go complete opposite of the plan. And that's okay, because it's normal, but it's actually a positive thing. So if you can reframe it, completely shift the frame and flip it on its head to make the hard things like actually good things, you're gonna get disgustingly rich and extremely fulfilled as you do it, because that fulfillment comes from stuff that's inside, and the wealth also comes from what's inside, up here and down here. So if you're going through hell, keep on going. Welcome it with open arms. Look at it right in the eyes. Say thank you for making me better. So with that, I gotta go hop on a call right now in a few minutes with a client and help them absolutely crush it. But I just wanted to record this video to kind of just document it and give you an insight into how I deal with certain things when things go wrong, because things go wrong all the time. And the farther you get, the bigger you go, the more shit is gonna go wrong. And it's gonna have bigger consequences too. But Oprah has a great quote. Apparently she was sued for $1 billion with one of her companies or something like that. And somebody asked her, an interviewer asked her, Oprah, how do you deal with being sued for $1 billion? She said, I'm just grateful that I'm the type of person that can be sued for $1 billion. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.